Hello everyone, just coming on to give some thoughts about last night's game. Newcastle United 1, FC Barcelona 1. Wow, what a match. What a performance. The result is a bit of a disappointment after the game itself. I think if you'd have asked most Newcastle fans before the game, would you take a 1-all draw? Probably reluctantly, yes. It is such a shame though. It's a shame in terms of the tie, because I think going to the new camp with a win, with a lead, would have been so good. There are reasons to suggest not so, which I'll get to shortly. Instead of a draw, it would have been good to go there with a win, with a head start, if you like, because that game in the new camp is going to be such an event, such an occasion. Now, it's also a shame in the context of history and feeling, because Newcastle's performance last night deserved a win, deserved that triumphant roar at full time, that victorious feeling. And now when we look back in years to come, we will remember the performance, but it takes a bit of the gloss off, a bit of shine off the match. However, we are still in the tie. The tie is alive and kicking. We're basically back to where we started, aren't we? We go to the new camp. It's 1-1. It may as well be 0-0. It is a one-off game, essentially. It is now a final that we have to win. Win at all costs. At all costs. And I think we are capable. I think PSG away this season, that is the blueprint we need to follow. Now, we were unfortunate in that game at times. And although we did not win the game, that was a very, very good performance. My reason for thinking that nothing's better than a win. Nothing beats a winning feeling, of course. There's nothing better in football than winning games. However, in a way, the way we played this season, I do think drawing last night could work out to be a bit of a blessing in disguise. What has been Newcastle's Achilles heel this season? It has been conceding goals and squandering winning positions. Also, sometimes away from home, playing within ourselves. So tomorrow night, if only it was tomorrow night. Next week, Newcastle go to the new camp at 1-1. If we were 1-0 up, 2-0 up, we would inevitably sit on that lead, wouldn't we? We would sit on that lead, and it would just probably be wave after wave after wave of Barcelona pressure until we crack and crumble. Whereas it is all or nothing. The game is in the balance, the tie is in the balance. It forces our hand to play and go after Barcelona, because we have to. We've got nothing to protect, nothing to defend. The only caveat to that you could say is, well, keep it tight for as long as you can and then go for the jugular in the final minutes. Much like Chelsea tried to do against Arsenal. But I think we will take the game to Barcelona because we have to. We have to. So, mental take, but in terms of the context of the tie, last night's draw, Lamine Yamal's kick, penalty kick, spot kick at full time, the last kick of the match, may work in our favour. Now, I might be talking absolute rubbish there, but I believe there is some method to my madness. There is some logic there. So, let's go through the team. Everyone played well. I cannot pick a single player who I thought was poor. Some players were better than others, of course. That's always going to be the case. However, I thought everyone was good. Aaron Ramsdale, probably one of his relatively quiet nights as a Newcastle keeper. Didn't have many saves to make. The saves he did make, he made well. He controlled his box, I thought. He distributed really well. Looked so much more comfortable with the ball at his feet than Nick Pope. There was one moment in the, I think it was in the second half because it was at the Leeds' end. A ball was played through for Barcelona. Aaron Ramsdale is very quick off his line, rushes off, claims the ball. Instead of lying there on the ball like some goalkeepers do, and they look around and they just take their time and they get up and then they do what they do. He was up immediately, rolled it out at pace to Lewis Hall. Talking of which, man of the match in my opinion, and it's not even close. Second and third in terms of man of the match were probably 8s or 9s out of 10s. I thought Lewis Hall was as close to a 10 out of 10 as you're ever going to get without scoring a goal or being absolutely perfect defensively. A couple of times Lamine Yamal went by him. He fouled him. It felt like relatively early in the first half, and I thought, oh God, that could cost us the match, because now Yamal is going to run at Lewis Hall. Run at him, and probably coax another yellow out of him. No, he didn't make another mistake all match. Sensational performance. The pace. Have you ever seen a better fullback dribbling the ball? And I'm not talking in Newcastle's history, I'm talking ever. I'm not sure I've seen a better fullback at wriggling out of tight spaces and bursting between two players, and all of a sudden he's free and he's on the attack. Wonderful left foot. The pass through for Sula in like the sort of first 10-15 minutes. What a pass. Perfectly weighted. Excellent performance defensively, offensively. The dribbling, the pace, he was our attacking outlet, particularly in the second half. The fitness, the speed, the strength. Lamine Yamal should, in my opinion, be banned for the second leg for body checking Lewis Hall. Got away with that. No yellow card required, apparently. But there we go. Lewis Hall, excellent. I'm not all that interested in the England national team, I'll be honest. But Lewis Hall is the best left back in the Premier League, let alone within the England selection pool. Dan Burn, Malik Thiaw. Malik Thiaw will be gutted about the penalty incident, and it is a penalty in the last minute. There's no two ways about it. But those two I thought were brilliant for the vast majority of the game. The concentration required, fantastic. Headed, blocked, read the game, marshalled Lewandowski well. I know it's a 37-year-old Lewandowski, but one of the finest strikers ever. One of the best European number 9s we've ever seen. And he had one chance in the second half, and Dan Burn was leaning on him to put him off. He didn't have a kick. Those two, excellent. Malik Thiaw, do not dwell on it, my man. It happens. Hard luck. Right back, Kieran Trippier, 35-year-old, survived the groin scare. I expect to see Tino start against Chelsea, but Trippier, fantastic. The ball's down the right-hand side for Elanga. The leadership, the tackling, the passing, awesome. Midfield 3, Joe Linton, Tonali, Jacob Ramsey. They outplayed Barcelona. Do I need to say more? No. Will I? Yes. Ramsey, excellent on the half turn, technical, touches, passes. He outplayed Pedri. Sandro Tonali, few wayward passes, but the engine, the dynamism, the leadership, the bravery to take the ball. Joe Linton, big, strong, aggressive, powerful, everything we usually like from Joe Linton, but with a bit more guile as well. I think Sandro Tonali gave the ball away more than Joe Linton, and that says it all. The ball at times in the midfield was being fizzed around at pace, bang, and the first touch was excellent from all of them, particularly Jacob Ramsey and Sandro Tonali. Joe Linton, if he did take a slightly heavy touch, he's so big and so athletic and powerful, he'll shield that ball and protect himself. Fantastic play. Fantastic performance. That was Joe Linton near his best, if not near to that Carabao Cup final performance. Harvey Barnes, not his most productive day, but he got the goal and he hit the post. General play, he grew into the game. He was always available in the first half for that ball down the wing from Lewis Hall. Really, really good performance. Probably should have scored when he hit the post, and he would have been disappointed with that, but he got his goal. Anthony Elanga, his best performance, I'd say, in a Newcastle shirt. Got a standing ovation coming off. Looked really good, looked powerful, looked fast, looked skillful. The dribbling, the pace, the balls into the box were good most of the time. I just wish he put them in a little bit earlier. That's my only criticism. I love that he had the confidence to take shots on from outside the box with his weaker foot against Barcelona. That says a lot about his confidence growing. Released by Kieran Trippier numerous times and did some damage. William Masula, not his finest game in terms of quality. Nowhere near the Man United moment, but he was industrious, he was powerful, he was strong, he was willing, he was athletic. He was a tireless runner, made a nuisance of himself. Fantastic. The subs coming on all did well. It was gutting to see that penalty go in, you know. Gutting, because we added with it to be the last kick of the game. It was a penalty. I got no qualms about that. The referee, there was a little bit more added time on than there should have been. My main gripe with the referee is the first half, particularly, giving up, blown his whistle for needless things. Yellow card in Sandro Tonali and Lewis Hall almost immediately. Their first offences. Lamine Yamal getting away with one big time, and that would have suspended him for the second leg. But if Lewis Hall performs the same way he did last night next week, Lamine Yamal will not be an issue. It was, what a performance. And there's a lot of Newcastle fans who, like me, are perhaps a little bit, not naive, but stuck in a, some would say, small club mentality where we're all about the journey, and, you know, when things aren't going so well, I'll just remember what it was like under Steve Bruce and Mike Ashley and the managers previous. And a lot of people were going, oh, well, look at the money they've spent. They should be doing better. 12th in the Premier League's not good enough. Eddie Howe's gone as far as he can. All that sort of thing. And 12th in the Premier League isn't good enough with the money we spent. I understand that. But in 4 years, my son is 5 this year, right? Within his lifetime, because he was born not long before the takeover, in his lifetime, we've gone from being relegation candidates or looking certain to be relegated to being disappointed we didn't beat Barcelona. That just let that sink in. In 4 years, we've gone from 19th of the Premier League, written off by everybody, in free fall, and then 4 years later, nearly 5 years later, we are disappointed we did not defeat FC Barcelona, and we certainly deserve to. The tie is alive. There is something to play for. We didn't lose last night. We've just outplayed Barcelona, and we're going to go to the Nou Camp next week. And it is do or die. Backs against the wall. Their lads will be written off. The mainstream media, sports media, largely will write them off and say they can't do this. Barcelona's quality. Barcelona are a better team at home. They haven't lost at the new Nou Camp. Records are there to be broken, aren't they? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. See you later.